Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. We begin at 11 with newly released police body cam video showing a shootout between officers and a robbery suspect in Northeast Portland. That suspect survived and is now charged with attempted murder. A warning, this video may be hard to watch. Kyle Aboshi has our top story.
Thursday, September 26th, 6:19 p.m. Body cam video shows Portland police approach a robbery suspect in the area of Northeast 17th and Bryant Street. Officers from the specially trained CERT team try to box in the suspect's Subaru. 24-year-old Jesse James West tries to get away, but his car gets stuck.
Jesse, put your hands up! You're under arrest!
West, who is under investigation for several violent crimes, including an armed carjacking-style robbery earlier in the day, police say, refuses to comply after repeated commands from officers.
You're under arrest, Jesse! Under arrest! He's in the back seat. Jesse, you're under arrest. Portland police, put your hands up, Jesse!
Seconds later, an officer fires 3 less than lethal rounds toward the suspect's car.
40.
Then a shootout. Police and the suspect trade gunfire. The suspect fired 6 rounds at police, according to investigators. In exchange, 3 different officers fired a total of 30 rounds, say police, hitting the suspect. A wounded West cooperated with police, say investigators, and was sent to the hospital. In his car, investigators found a 9mm handgun and shell casings, according to prosecutors. No officers were injured. On Wednesday, West appeared in court using a wheelchair. He pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of attempted murder. The 3 officers who fired their weapons will remain on administrative leave, which is standard protocol following an officer-involved shooting. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
And once we hopped on the oven, I called my mom and told my mom, I think me and my children are about to drown to death.
Well, that is just one story of survival in Florida, with a woman and her 4 children forced to climb onto a floating oven in order to escape the rising waters. So far, officials say at least 14 people are confirmed dead after Milton roared ashore Wednesday night on the Gulf Coast south of Tampa Bay as a monster Category 3. It spawned dozens of tornadoes, torrential downpours, vicious winds, and so much more. Downtown St. Petersburg shows some of the highest rainfall totals and some of the worst damage. The wind toppling construction cranes and ripping the roof off Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Tonight, millions remain in the dark as rescue crews continue their work to save those trapped in their homes from flooding. Meanwhile, some 60 volunteers from the Northwest are on the ground with the Red Cross, doing everything from distributing food, water, and supplies, providing support to those hit the hardest. And locally, they're also looking for more recruits.
It's free, 100%. You don't have to have any experience with the Red Cross previously. You can come tomorrow and get everything you need and then be able to deploy and help people. I think it is one of the most profound experiences to go out and work in a shelter after a large disaster because you're providing hope to people who feel so lost in that moment.
Yeah, training is tomorrow from 9 to 5 at the main Red Cross location in North Portland. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, 12 people are now safe after an elevator malfunction trapped them 1,000 feet underground in a Colorado gold mine. One person died this afternoon at the Molly Kathleen Gold Mine as a tourist attraction southwest of Colorado Springs. 4 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. A North Portland cannabis store employee has pleaded not guilty to murder charges after authorities say he shot and killed 2 alleged robbers. The shooting was a week ago at LaMotta Cannabis in the St. John's neighborhood. The Oregonian reporting tonight that court records indicate the robbers let 34-year-old Jason Steiner go, and he left and then returned before firing shots. KGW is working to confirm those details. And in Southeast Portland, a man is facing a slew of charges after a bag labeled definitely not a bag full of drugs turned out to be, yes, full of drugs and more. Portland police say they stopped the car Tuesday night after it had been reported stolen. Inside the vehicle, authorities say they spotted the bag. They decided that was suspicious when they opened it. Guess what? They found meth, fentanyl, scales, cash, and a loaded revolver. They say they arrested 35-year-old Reginald Reynolds, who's now facing drug and stolen vehicle charges. New tonight, the battle between open farmland and development took center stage in Hillsboro around the governor's plan to use her executive authority to help grow Oregon's semiconductor industry. Alma McCarty was there for public comment. Alma, it sounds like this drew quite the crowd.
Yeah, David, lots and lots of people both for and against the move, though the decision is ultimately in the hands of the governor.
Just outside the city of Hillsboro, off Highway 26 and Jackson School Road, 337 acres are currently under consideration. This month, Governor Tina Kotek's seeking to use her executive authority through Oregon's CHIPS Act to bring this area into Hillsboro's urban growth boundary, expanding it for the sake of the semiconductor industry. Oregon's currently competing with other states to be home to a national research and development hub.
It's the creation of the National Semiconductor Technology Center, which will have at least 3 large locations around the country. Oregon's long-standing history in semiconductors and having a talented workforce should make our state an ideal location for at least one of those 3 sites.
Before the governor can make that call, law requires her team hold one public hearing and take public comment for nearly 3 weeks. Thursday night at the Hillsboro Civic Center served as that meeting opportunity.
Expanding an urban growth boundary to allow for the growth that the current UGB lands cannot accommodate is hard, but the Washington County Board of Commissioners supports the work and decision of the governor to add these 373 acres to meet this historic opportunity.
As government officials made their case to expand, opponents like Aaron Nichols, a local farmer, explained why the governor should reconsider. One example, losing what he calls world-class soil.
Once they're paved over, that's it. But another concern is that the farm economies, we need to be next to each other. We need to be able to bring our combines across across a road and not be going through an Intel campus.
Ahead of the meeting, dozens gathered voicing a need to stop the sprawl.
We do not need to pit tech against farming.
But inside, several supporters called this a once-in-a-generation opportunity, a way to lock in Oregon's future.
It means that we would be attracting billions in federal investment, billions in private investment, millions in tax revenue, and thousands of good family living wage jobs for Oregonians. Those are the stakes.
And if you want to weigh in, you have until October 30th. The governor will have to make a decision by the end of the year. David?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Thank you, Alma. Straight ahead at 11, why pick one when you can have both? What Portland City Council decided today when it comes to the future of the Keller. Plus, some local musical talent in the running for a national honor. We meet the Portland State educator who could win a very special Grammy. Matt?
All right, David, thanks very much. It's happening over Oregon. The Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis is visible right now. As a matter of fact, here's a picture from Kalama, Washington. We've been watching our sky cams. Look north, get away from the city lights if you can, or you might be treated to some really special sights. We'll have more pictures for you after the break.